All right, Shalom. I want to start off as always by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, B'cha HaKodash. Double is unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this morning's lesson, I wanted to read the book of John, chapter 14, verses 1 down to verse 3, and just break it down here through the Spirit. And Lord willing, this is edifying. Now, as you can see, the subtitle here for this chapter is Yahweh Shai comforts his disciples. All right. And not only the 12, but these words are comforting unto all of us who believe and are disciples of Yahweh Shai. Okay. Now we know that this was during, I think this was around the Passover, his Last Supper, so to speak, right? And he was, preaching to the apostles, all right, about a few things, okay? But I just wanted to highlight this here. And once again, man, this is edifying, all right? So starting here in John chapter 14, verse 1, it says, "Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yahweh, believe also in me." Now, why did Yahweh Shai make a distinction between him and the Father? Because we know that the Christians teach that they say Jesus was God. But yet here in this verse, the Lord is clearly making a distinction between the Most High God, Yahweh, and himself. Two different entities, okay? But a Christian would have you to believe otherwise, all right? They make it seem as if Yahweh Shai was crazy or something, okay? And he wasn't crazy, man. He knew that he wasn't the Father, okay? But anyway, it says, "Believe in the Most High, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions or many dwellings," okay? "If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." Now, let's deal with the first portion here of this verse, right? "In my Father's house are many mansions," okay? Where's the Most High's house or his dwelling, right? Let's go here to Baruch chapter 3. You go here to Baruch chapter 3, okay? Scroll down here, and let's go to verse 24. One second here. All right, verse 24 says, "O Israel, how great is the house of the Most High, and how large is the place of his possession. Great and had none end, high and unmeasurable." So the house of the Most High and the place of his possession is endless, okay? There's no point to where you can say, all right, this here is where the house of the Lord stops. That don't exist. So when Yahweh Shai said, "In my Father's house are many mansions," man, brother, there's no end to the Most High's house, to his creation, man, to his dwellings. Now, I remember the argument maybe a few years ago. I think that was the Sakari, okay? They was trying to say that we're only going to live 1,000 years in the kingdom, as they said, because if we don't die, then we're going to overpopulate the earth eventually, right? This was their stance. So according to Sakari, right, they said, hey, look, we're only going to live for 1,000 years in the kingdom and then, die off. Because if not, the world will get over. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Okay. Brother, if you think the Lord ain't got that figured out already, you're crazy. Okay. There is no way in hell that we could outpopulate the creation of the Most High. It's impossible. Impossible. The Lord is from everlasting unto everlasting. As you just read here in Baruch, right? What did it say here, man? It says, O Israel, how great is the house of God, and how large is the place of his possession, great and hath none end, high and unmeasurable. So the dwellings of the Most High has no end, brother. So it's impossible to outpopulate creation. Impossible, brother. So us populating the kingdom of heaven, that won't be an issue. Okay. Oh my God, it's too many of us. No, man, that would not be an issue. Yahushua said, in my Father's house are many mansions, meaning many dwellings. Okay. It is impossible, okay, to overpopulate creation, bro. Okay. So going back to John, right, it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. All right. That place been prepared. Okay. That place been prepared. Matter of fact, if you go to I think it's 2 Ezra chapter 2. Let me double check. I think it's 2 Ezra chapter 2, where it speaks about the kingdom already being prepared. Okay. This is 2 Ezra chapter 2. And verse, let's start at verse 10. Okay. It says, thus said the Lord unto Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. This is, see, this verse here will trip up a lot of people, because it sounds like it's saying, okay, he's gonna give it to somebody else and not the Israelites. Is there like another people? No. He's saying he's gonna give it to the elect, man. Okay, who are Israelites? All right, it's gonna start with them, bro, and then eventually all Israel will get it. Okay, but it's gonna start with the elect, man. Okay, it says, hey, keep in mind, right? Keep in mind that in Galatians here, Galatians 6 and 16, right? The Lord only dealing with the remnant of Israel. Okay, he ain't dealing with all Jake. Galatians 6 and 16, it says, and as many as walk according to this rule, peace be on them and mercy upon the Israel of the Most High. Those who walk according to this rule, according to the gospel. That's the Israel of the Most High, bro. The Lord not dealing with 2/3 right now. Okay, that's who he gonna get a kingdom to. Watch this. This is Romans 9 and verse 27. It says, Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant, right? A remnant shall be saved. That's the elect. That's who Yahweh shall coming to deliver. Okay, the remnant. This is Revelation 11. And we'll read verse 12 and 13. It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant, right? The remnants were frightened and gave glory to the God of heaven. We just read in Romans 9:27 that this remnant are Israelites. Okay? It shouldn't be that hard to understand. But let's get more precepts just in case, because you already got new brothers and sisters out there, man, you know, who are coming into the faith, and maybe it's their first time hearing this. Joel 2 and 32, it says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. Now, the Apostle Paul in Romans, he quoted this precept, okay, which is something that Christians like to go to when you read Romans 10, and I believe it's the 13th verse. Let's pull it up, right? So you go here to Romans 10 and 13, and a Christian will quote this and say, well, it says whosoever. So to them in their minds, this is any and everybody. Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Paul is quoting Joel 2. Right? We just read that. Let's read it again. Joel 2 and 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance. You see that? It's only for the elect men of Israel. Well, for the Israelites overall. Okay? But it's going to start with the elect. It says, as the Lord had said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Who is the remnant? The Israelites, the elect. That's who it's for. Last precept concerning this topic here is Jeremiah 31. And Jeremiah 31 and verse, what is it, 7? Yeah. Jeremiah 31 and 7, it says, for thus said the Lord, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Yahweh, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. That's what the Lord dealing with. So when you go back to 2 Ezra 2 and 10 here, right? This is going into the remnant of Israel being saved. All right. And then talking about giving it to the non-Israelites. Okay, that's ridiculous, right? But reading on here, verse 11 says, their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles which I had prepared for them. What's the everlasting tabernacles talking about? It's talking about us getting the new bodies. Okay, that's the everlasting tabernacle, right? The new bodies, which we will live forever in the kingdom of heaven, right? It says, which I have prepared. It says, they shall have the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor, and they shall neither labor nor be weary, right? In the kingdom of heaven, we ain't gonna have to work or be tired. I have a damn alarm clock. That's gonna be at the window. Esau gonna have an alarm clock. These heathens gonna have an alarm clock, but not us. Okay. Verse 13 says, go and ye shall receive, pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. So when Yahushua said, he said, look, I go to prepare a place for you. That's the kingdom. Is already prepared. And Yahushua coming back to get us so that we can inherit that, man. Verse 3 says, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again. Do you believe that? Do you believe that Yahushua is coming back? It takes faith. Either you do or you don't. There's no gray areas. I ain't no maybe. He didn't say I may come back or I might come back. No. He's going to come back. He ain't just talking just to be saying something. No. He means it. I will come back. Or I will come again. He will come again. Okay? And all the signs show that Yahushua is coming back again, bro. It's only a matter of time. Right? It says, and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. So the Lord is coming back, man, to gather the elect. Okay? I will come again. Those are his words. Okay? And the last precept I got here is Psalms 36 and verse 7. It says, how excellent is thy loving kindness, O God. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. Okay? We shall be abundantly satisfied, Ak. Everything that we want, brother. Anything that we want. Okay? See, to be satisfied is one thing, you know? But abundantly satisfied, the Lord is going to overdo it. He's going to over bless us. Okay? Which is, nothing to the Most High. But it's saying that the Lord going to give us, brother, we're going to get so much stuff, bro. So much resource, so much everything. Okay? Being free from death, free from sin and decay, everything, bro. Abundantly satisfied. Okay? With the fatness of his house. Brother, it's minerals and all kind of stuff that gold and bro, so much stuff we don't even know about. So much in creation we don't even know about, right? And Sirach speaks about how it said that we only seen a spark of his creation. Only a spark, Ak. Now, from what we see, this is breathtaking, okay? But the scriptures say we only seen a spark of it, Doc. Let me see if I can get that precept in Sirach. Now I close out. That's Sirach. I think it's like 40 or something. Let me see. We only seen a spark of his creation, bro. That is mind-blowing. Okay. I think it's 40. Let me double check here. No. It's not 40. Let me see here. Yep, here we go. Sirach 42 and verse 22. Right, Sirach 42 and 22, it says, oh, how desirable are all his works, and that a man may see even to a spark. All these things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. Okay, the Lord, man. We only got a small glimpse of creation, bro. We finna see a whole bunch in the kingdom. And this is what Yahweh shall come to bring unto us. So I'll close out with that, man. I pray that was edifying. I'll praise you. How about Shema Shai, Bashim Chakodash. Shalom.